we go.
It is in the tickets.
We're live.
What's up?
We are live. I'm just going to throw something over to my friends. All right. And the commissar's here. My man. You just making sure you're live on the camera there? All right. Hello, crafters.
I'm just making sure that it's shared to my groups as well.
All righty. I'm Big D.
I'm Lil D.
And we are live on a pretty dead week.
Not dead.
It's relatively dead.
It's everything's prepping for
Which 2 weeks? They give it 2 weeks. I mean, we have a little bit of news, a little bit of stuff going on. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. All right. So we now have nobody watching, including the Commodore. He's left
man,
us.
he left. He was like, man,
I'm out of here.
Yep.
Fuck you guys.
He's like, yeet.
Yeet. All right. So, well, let's start with the basics. What's on the bench? Hello, Phoenix.
I still don't have anything on the bench. I mean, I have a list written up now. That's a thing.
And you're working on your game that you're running.
Yeah, we've got that coming up Saturday, which is going to be fun because we're going to have an actual
Saturday? Not Saturday.
Sunday.
Yeah, not
Sunday.
Yeah,
sorry.
not Saturday because I won't be here Saturday.
Yeah, sorry. Sunday.
This weekend is my D&D weekend.
Sunday.
I can't even call it D&D weekend because I'm going to be running Shadowrun.
Yeah, that's fair. Look at this ugly bitch.
It's a Space Marine.
Well, it's a Nurgling. That's what I'm saying. He's ugly.
It's a Death Guard. That got painted in a green because it was the only primer I had at the time. I'm going to hit it with another green. I was trying to do some paint effects with it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's fair. Of course it is. See? That's fair.
But it's backwards. I can't see it.
Well, everyone else can see it. And if they see it backwards, well, well.
Other than that, yeah, I'm writing up a list for the narrative play. I'm also looking at maybe writing up a 1,000 points list separately as like a downplayed version of the army. Less demons, less possessed. More
because that campaign, with what I've worked out so far, there's going to be at least one fight at 1,000 points, one fight at 2,000 points, and then a couple in between.
Mm-hmm.
Like some will be 1,500, some will be 1,750, because I don't want to just see automatic. And there's going to be some weird lists too. Like there's one you're going to be happy about, because there's going to be at least one fight that it can't be on anything that has bigger than a 60 millimeter base.
Yeah, but then Titan, anyone who wants to run Knights would be...
And because I'm running that campaign, they won't be able to be involved in that fight specifically.
So, like, are different armies like going to have like mini alliances and things?
That'll be it. Yeah, it's forward for us. They can see it just fine. See? That's the thing.
That's fair.
Aha!
I hate it. Jeez.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be, you're going to be able to make alliances and whatnot. I'm going to do my best. That's the way I want to, because again, it's not a competitive fight thing. So I'm going to do my best that I'm not going to have like Imperials fighting Imperials. It'll be Imperials fighting Xenos, Imperials fighting Chaos, Chaos fighting Xenos, Xenos fighting Xenos. You know?
There might be some Imperials fighting Imperials because the Grey Knights exist.
And they are one of the factions that are going to be there.
But it's why I'm not doing my Imperium faction. Because, like, you know. I mean, it'd be fun to fight Grey Knights with them. Like, that is fair. Like, being able to fight Grey Knights in a narrative campaign would be fun.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to fight the sisters. I don't really want to fight guard. You know? But I'm also kind of really excited for this, like, narrative I have for my army.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's not coming out for a bit yet. I mean, this is just in the planning stages at this point.
And who knows? Maybe it'll come out after Chaos gets their rework.
That's possible, although I would hope to get it started before Christmas.
Well, that's fair. I just want to have 2 wounds by the time it happens. That's all. I want to have 2 wounds. I want 2 wound Chaos Marines.
All right.
And what do you have? Oh, you have a lot of.
Nope, that's almost all done now.
Yeah, but you still
that's it.
Paint a bunch of stuff.
Well, that's the whole thing. We haven't talked about it officially on the channel.
Oh, yeah. It's still on the bench, though.
So, yeah, that
It
is.
still counts.
So, I now have a workload to go by. I need to finish building these sisters. And then after I build these sisters, I need to finish painting Commodore's terrain.
Yeah. So we can play at Commodore's house.
Yes, I need to finish his terrain.
So I'm not stuck not being able to play the Path of Glory.
He just noticed the shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to do that. We have to paint Commodore's terrain, which is
important,
and there. I mean, we're right there with it. And then I got a couple commissions.
Couple?
Yes.
I thought you just had 1.
I have 2.
Who the hell else is paying you?
So, I got a commission to paint all of these sisters models that I am building. He asked me, what would it cost me to paint them for you? What would it cost me for you to paint them for me? And I'm like, and he threw a number at me. And I will take that number.
So what color scheme does he have in mind?
They are going to be red with black cloaks.
Okay, that's cool.
A lot of cloth will be black. There'll be some highlights in gold and silver. I'm going to do the guns in black and highlight them in silver with little bits of gold here and there.
That's actually like the paint scheme of Sisters is what actually really excites me about eventually like building a Sisters army. Because Tommy knows that because my Space Marines are based off the Grey Wardens, since they want to be from the same planet as the Sisters, I want to give the Sisters that same kind of paint scheme. So the silver armor with the blue cloaks. And I think that's going to be so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I love the Sister Battle. They're like one of my favorite factions in like 40K.
That's pretty cool. And then when I am done painting all of these Sisters of Battle, I have been commissioned to make a table.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So I am literally crafting him a high-end Death World forest on an elven exodite world. So it'll have elven ruins and some hills and some forest pieces. So it'll look really sharp, and it will also be very playable and yet have a lot of really good terrain options.
It's fair. I still want to do an Eldar army, but do an Exodite army. Exodites are cool.
I saw an Exodite army on Reddit today. They replaced their original Eldar.
So they're painted up like Dark Eldar?
So they took what would be a Raider, and they put a Steglodon down, and it's got
all these spikes coming out of it. Then
no, it's a Steglodon, which has all the spikes and the fins on it. Weather Pig, what's up, my man? Yeah, he's got a Steglodon, but it's got witches hanging all off of it.
That's cool as fuck.
It was a really good paint job too. I mean, that was the big thing. The big thing, I got to be honest with you, when you're painting dinosaurs, like,
they have to look good.
Yeah, because if they look crappy, they look like kids' toys. That's one of the reasons I did not want to, as much as I kind of like the idea of doing
Seraphon
at one point. Like, this is a while ago. I kind of like the idea of doing Seraphon. I came to realize that if you don't paint their dinosaurs well, they really look bad. Like,
that's fair.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. I can tell by your shirt.
Okay, stop. I hate it. I hate it.
I love it. Like the whole, rubber dinosaur from the 60s monster movie type look. I mean, if that's what you're going for, then go for it. But, when I look at the Seraphon, my immediate thought when I look at Seraphon is that I'm thinking like Aztec. So I want that to look like super sharp and super clean and lots of gold and colorful feathers and whatnot. And if you don't paint that looking good, I just think it looks tacky.
That's fair.
So yeah. I would love to see that Weather Pig.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm super excited, but the only bad thing about it is that I was planning as soon as I was done with the Commissar or the Commodore's terrain, I was going to get into a heavy paint cycle. I've been gearing myself up to crack on like I did last year for the summer, to try and see if I can make up for lost time, because I haven't done a lot of painting this year. I've been kind of down and I was kind of burnt out and I had some stuff going on, just life.
That's fair.
And
I hate it.
I love it. I think it's great.
You did it just to make fun of me.
Look what I'm wearing.
Yeah, but
So yeah, I wanted to get into a heavy paint cycle, and I'm like, well, I guess I am. I'm just not painting my stuff.
And I will let you start painting these Emperor's Children scheme boys.
Yeah, my big thing was that I was going to try and get the rest of my Slaneshi Demon army finished up, since it's such a fast paint. I did I did that Keeper of Secrets in 2 days, 2.5 days. And I did,
A squad of Daemonettes in like a day.
if that.
Yeah.
I think they only took a day because I took a break in the middle there for like a bunch of time. Like if I was to actually sit down and start on them with the process, I honestly believe I could probably paint most of that army in like a week. And keep in mind, I've got like 6 more squads of Daemonettes, a bunch of keepers, a bunch of seekers, not keepers, a bunch of seekers, a bunch of the other ones, and a couple of chariots.
Plus, I need to make a plan for
For-
1,000 points in the Path of Glory.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. I probably should get that shaman. I think I'm just gonna do more Ard Boys, at least for now.
You think so?
Yeah, some Ard Boy, some of the Ard Boy cavalry. They're just really good, and they really like.
As much as you really like the idea of doing the cruel boys, you really like the Ard boys.
I do. I really like the design, but
There's nothing wrong with it, man.
I also need more models, just count wise, for my abilities to work. Because right now I can't use any of my WOG stuff. I just don't have enough models on the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are designed to be. They're kind of a weird horde-like army.
Plus, it's hard because I'm not really going to be able to get a lot of games in.
You can. We just have to make some arrangements. That's the thing. I was talking to one of the guys, and like, he can do any weeknight at FAC. Your only real restriction is that you can't play them at the Games Workshop.
Yeah, but I also, like, when I came in, I made it clear, like, only certain nights I'm going to be, like, free to do it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I mean, we can work with that, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Not being able to play at the GW store really, like shot a lot of my enjoyment of the whole thing down. I'm not going to lie. Like, and I get why. I don't get me wrong. I entirely understand why, but not knowing that and then going in and basically sitting there for 2 hours really sucked. But that's just how it is. Honestly.
Yeah, but now that we know it's not going to happen again, I mean, there's only a few of the games that happened there. I mean, really. It just so happened that you had one set up for that day and then had to cancel it. So that does suck.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great, Weather Pig. Yeah, I want to get some battle reports put together. I got to get some of these projects done out of the way so I can finish clearing off the table behind me, because like half of that stuff back there is stuff for projects right now. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to push to try and get done with stuff. I made a list the other day. I was talking to another fellow crack addict, multiple army player, and I realized, like, I've got like 9 or 10 armies now.
Yeah, about that many.
And I didn't really think about that. I was like, oh, I love this hobby. I just didn't realize how much I love this hobby. And the problem is I've got at least 2 more that are waiting to be actually built. Because I have an entire Necrons army that I haven't even started on.
That's fair.
And then I have my squats. I gotta fix my printer to get my squats going, because I got my hands on a group of people that have old models and are old and out of print models.
Yeah, you talked about this last time.
Yeah, I mean it's great. Well, they just started a new project. I threw a couple bucks in on one of their new projects, and therefore, what are you doing?
I'm looking at your dudes. I'm looking at the models. They're just on the desk. I'm looking. Why are you flipping out at me?
Why is he broken?
I don't know. Did you break him?
Well, I didn't break him, but I don't sit there and fiddle with stuff.
No, it's fine. It was not me. It was probably you.
Yeah. Put him down. I'll have to fix him with glue later.
I was trying to realign him.
You win what? You're going to just sit there and keep clicking on it until you chip the pieces?
Yes. Keep going. You're extremely entertained. I am just looking over the medals on your desk and that we'll need to clear out.
Pinch.
To make room.
I pinch.
Don't be mean to me.
I pinch.
You're mean.
So yeah, it's a cool situation. It's a weird situation to kind of be in where it's like I've never had anybody, people have liked my paint style before, but I've never had somebody go, no, I really like your style to the point that I want you, specifically you, and they could have paid a couple other people to paint them for them. He specifically wanted me to do it because he likes my paint style. Well, you
do good paint style. That's how it is.
I've heard certain people complain about my figures being a little muddy and a little dark and a little overly grim dark.
I don't know who would complain about that, but
I know people who have. I've had people.
Well, they're dumb.
Put those back over there.
Why are they here?
Because they had to be reprimed, and that's why they had to dry, and they'll go because they only got partially.
But they're dumb.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Again, they're dumb. That's fair.
They don't like your paint scheme, so they're dumb.
Not that my scheme; they just don't like my style. And
they don't like your paint style, so they're dumb.
So,
paint their own army here.
Well, and there are some of the people that don't like my paint style are other painters.
Well, yeah. Well, they better paint their own damn army then.
But the guy that's, like I said, the guy that's paying me, he likes my style. He specifically likes that mine's a little grimy, a little dirty, a little grubby. He wants his sisters to look a little battle hardened.
That's fair. And I've got to do... I think I want to go with the purple. Because I really like the purple. I like the purple and gold for when I do the Emperor's Children army.
Okay. Well, it's a good scheme. Can't believe you're not going in pink, but
I don't know, man. I like pink, don't get me wrong, but there's something about the purple and gold that the Emperor's Children run around with in the Horus Heresy era, and especially with the idea of them being kind of this subgroup within the Emperor's Children, which is why I'm not going to really use Noise Marines. I might use Noise Marines, but I don't know. I've never liked the aesthetic of the Noise Marines. Don't get me wrong. Noise Marines are cool in concept. I really like the concept of Noise Marines, but I like the Emperor's Children for the duelist perfectionist kind of thing, not so much for the Noise Marine thing. Because those were two entirely different camps for 30K. It's you have your Noise Marines and you have your duelists. And their duelist taking after Fulgrim was cool. Because that's what Fulgrim was. He was like this super badass duelist. And I like the duelist angle of the Emperor's Children.
I mean, if you want to go with the melee heavy Marines aspect of them, then I say go for it. Just hand me a thing of super glue. I would just actually no, not super glue. I have basic glue. Never mind. Not focus on demon engines almost at all.
I mean, the Mauler Fiend's really good for that, though. Like, Mauler Fiend's really good for that melee, but that's a fair point because he doesn't get the benefit that the rest of the army gets.
The going first? Yeah, he does.
No. Okay, I'm not So the base Emperor's Children bonus, the issues with Emperor's Children base-wise is like, yeah, they get the fight first, but none of their stratagems really support the melee thing. It's more so their stratagems are all about, like, shooting and Noise Marines. The Flawless Host, on the other hand, has a lot more melee-based stratagems. And that's kind of the thing. That's why I'm using the Flawless Host, which is a subgroup of the Emperor's Children, as my army's rule set. Because they may very much more fit into the melee focus of the army that I'm going for. But the issue is, it only affects infantry, bikes, and halberds. It doesn't affect Daemon Engines, and it doesn't affect normal Dreadnoughts. But there are some good stratagems for normal Dreadnoughts. And who knows, maybe I'll come back at it and go decide, I'll go with Noise Marines and go normal Emperor's Children, because there are some really good stratagems for Leviathan Dreadnoughts specifically. Because I really want a Leviathan Dreadnought. And the Honor the Prince, I think is the stratagem that Jason was talking about. That's really, really good.
That's cool. As long as, again, I'm just reminding you, this is all about, this narrative campaign.
Yeah.
Is about the narrative.
No, and I get that. My issue is currently, I'm choosing to play an army that's kind of on the back foot already, and then going at a style of the army that's not really well supported by the faction itself currently. So I do need to build my list a little bit more competitively than I would normally. Than if I was playing like Space Marines to be effective, even just in a narrative campaign. You need to still be able to compete and be effective as an army. I'm not like trying to build like a real competitive list here, but I am trying to build a list that is effective enough that it doesn't already fall behind that it already would be from it being Chaos Space Marines, not going pure Daemon Engines, or not going the Children of Bile or Creations of Bile. Because I'm not playing at all into the meta that makes Chaos Space Marines viable right now. I'm playing into the thematics of my army and then taking some competitive aspects so that the army still works as a cohesive army. You know?
Okay.
No, that's not it at all, Commodore. I generally don't even like building competitive lists. But Chaos Space Marines are in a really bad spot right now. They really, really are. And not only that, I want to build Chaos Space Marines as Chaos Space Marines, not just cultist blobs and Daemon Engines. Like, if I wanted to build competitive as Chaos Space Marines, I would go, okay, I'm going to grab 3... I understand you are, but I'm just explaining myself. I would grab 3 Disco Lords, make one of them my Warlord, and grab a whole bunch of Daemon engines, like Helldrakes and Mauler Fiends and stuff like that. And Hellbrutes.
I wouldn't even bother the Hellbrutes at that point.
Hellbrutes with last cannons? Of course.
I would go Mauler Fiends and Forge Fiends. Forge Fiends with their plasma breath.
Yeah, but you can only have so many heavy support. And that's the problem, is that you need some elite choices too.
Yeah.
No, and Commodore, I'm not getting on you over it. I'm just being like, this is the reason I'm building it this way, so that I can, when I go up against, let's say, the Grey Knights army, I don't just get stomped into the dust because the Grey Knights just got their codex.
Well, you'll get stomped anyhow because they're going to look at all the demon and go, oh, la 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 la. Oh, look, all the demons died. I put you on the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's totally fair. I want to use just shut up, Kami. I want to use Chaos Space Marines. I really want to play Chaos Space Marines because I think the faction and the concept I have in my head is fun. And I'm currently stuck between a couple ideas. Because, there is this list I've been talking about, and I've been talking about of going, this Emperor's Children army. But there is the other route that I have looked at, but I'm still kind of like, eh.
I mean, there's if you're going to go competitive, there's a completely different way to go.
Yeah.
And you're not doing that.
No.
It's not like the list I was writing up at one point where I was doing a Agents of Bile.
Yeah, Creations of Bile.
I had a Creations of Bile, and I had Fabius Bile, 2 Disco Lords.
Yeah, that dumb.
Oh, no. I only have 1 Disco Lord. No, I had 2 because I had 2 detachments. Because I had 1 Disco Lord in each detachment. But I had Master of Possessions in there as well. And then I was running, 3 squads of 5 Marines with bolters to just hold objectives. But I wanted them to actually be able to shoot stuff. And then I was running Possessed and Greater Possessed and Obliterators and Demon Engines.
It is kind of tempting to build a Khornate army, too. Because I love Khorne. Khorne is my Chaos God that I really enjoy.
See, and that's the thing. If I wasn't going to build Emperor's Children, just me. If I wasn't going to build Emperor's Children or I wasn't going to build Agents of Bile, I'd really go Red Corsairs. Just because their named character, that's their chapter master, is so freaking overpowered. And you can put corn stuff in there with them.
No,
it's just wrong. I love Chaos Marines. I mean, if you can tell, but I love Mortarion and I love the Death Guard, but I like regular Chaos Marines too. If Lady D hadn't gone, I want to do Emperor's, she hadn't gone, I want to do, what do you call it? Thousand Suns.
I would be doing Thousand Suns right now.
And the thing is, if you want to do Thousand Suns, if you honestly want to do Thousand Suns, we can do Thousand Suns, especially since they got a brand new codex out.
Yeah, but again,
But she could do it. It's a difference between her and me because we kind of share figures and share armies and stuff. This is your stuff. Vic has, or Plague Child has a Necron's army. And I have a Necron's army.
Because the other thing is, I could tie it into the Dark Heresy campaign that I'm running. I've got the main villain of that campaign, who is a Thousand Sun sorcerer, who I could totally run.
If you want to run as Thousand Suns, there's 8 million different ways to run Thousand Suns, and nobody knows what their meta is right now. So you just go hog wild and do whatever you want.
But I also, looking at some of their rules, it's not that they're bad; they're really strong, but they're super complicated. And I'm a baby. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm still trying to figure out my stratagems for Space Marines. I still don't know all my Space Marine stratagems. And trying to figure out, oh, this is... I mean, maybe. That's a fair point. But if the Codex is then released and I have to rebuild like half the army,
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
also a problem.
Then you got to have more. No. What do you mean that's a problem? What do you mean that's a problem? That is not a problem at all. That's the best thing about it. Why do you have 8,000 points of orcs? Because I like different units. I like all the units.
And I won't lie, part of my desire to play Emperor's Children is a hope that soon, at some point, we'll get a Fulgrim model. Because, man.
See, I thought you didn't like Slaanesh.
I like the Emperor's Children. I don't like Slaanesh. It's it's
complicated.
Yes. I like the Emperor's Children in 30K, and I like their named characters, and I like their history, and I like their mindset. And then I like what they become when they fall to Slaanesh. I don't like the darker parts of Slaanesh because it does like the Daemoncula or whatever it's freaking called. All the
Daemonocula? That's an Emperor's Children.
I know. And at that point I'm like, Jesus, I get it's grimdark, but god damn. It gets really dark, and it's like, it's hard for me to justify playing that faction because it's hard for me to really get into a mindset of wanting to play that faction.
What do you mean?
Because I am very much a 40K lore junkie when it comes to this kind of stuff.
But here's the beauty of it. It's not real.
Yeah, but that's...
And they're the bad guys. I mean, literally, if there is a bad guy anywhere in this game...
Tyranids.
No, they're the good guys. They're the heroes of the game.
They are not the heroes.
The Tyranids are the
absolutely
heroes. They have the most pure of... They have the most pure of reasons for why they're doing what they're doing.
I could also build Malal warriors.
Malal warriors?
Malal. The Sons of Malice.
Yeah, I know.
I could build Sons of Malice. You don't like Sons of Malice?
For someone who likes lore, you liking a god that doesn't exist. I will be valid again someday. I will be. Let's go make you some cocoa.
No, there's a lot of interesting Space Marine Legions, and it's hard to...
I love the Red Corsairs. I love the idea of the Red Corsairs.
I don't like the Red Corsairs because they fucked over my boys.
Who they screw over?
The Lamenters. The Astral Claws manipulated the Lamenters.
I love them. You know why I love them? Because they're the best. They're good boys. They're like, you know what, Abaddon? You're in charge. That's fine. You're in charge. We're just going to do everything better than you do.
And I'm stuck. Because, there's also, level of, what I want to paint and how well I can paint it.
No. That's not, you're not allowed to.
That is a problem.
That is not a problem.
Because all that line work on Emperor's Children is going to be a bitch.
No, it's not. You mentally make edge work. Because you're not doing edge highlighting. You're just doing plate edges. And that is not hard. You just turn your brush sideways. You make that more mentally hard than it is.
I hate it. It's just aggravating. Because it's slow and tedious.
Yeah.
All this for every single model. It's just aggravating.
Have you seen my death speakers?
Yes, I get it. But I don't enjoy the...
I don't necessarily enjoy it either, but when you got a finished product that looks that badass, you put the work in. You know? You put the work in to get good stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Iron Warriors. Another one of those chapters that I actually kind of want to play. I want him to be creative. I offer you encouragement to be creative all the time, don't I?
You were just saying that I shouldn't go. When I was talking about Sons of Malice, you're like,
it's not a matter of not encouraging his creativity. Here's the problem. It's a matter if you don't steer him, he'll go like this. And I love him. I love him to death, and I want him to be creative. I want him to pick something that he likes and go with it. Just pick it. If you want to do the Followers of Malal and you want to do the Knights of Malice, then do the Knights of Malice.
Maybe I'll do Chaos Knights.
Okay. That's possible. See, you're like, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's like, oh, look, Commodore. Commodore says exactly right. Look at that. What's he say? Read it out loud.
No, not really.
Read it out loud.
No.
Read it out loud.
Anyway, so I'm just looking at.
So that's fair, but Commodore says you won't improve painting unless you challenge yourself to improve. And that is truly fair. You want to get better at painting. You don't necessarily really like it, but you have said that you want to get better at it. You're not going to get better if you don't do it. And I'm telling you, what you want to do with those Emperor's Children, if you want to go the purple, it's fine, go the purple. And you want to do that little bit of gold on there, I'm telling you, Commodore and I can show you the easiest way to do that in an easy manner. The problem is, my lovely son, is you overthink. You overthink.
Oh.
It's okay to use your brain. It's the best part of you. But sometimes you use it and then you stop. You don't stop using it. Like, and you overthink yourself and you second guess yourself. And sometimes your initial idea is right.
Well, because my initial idea was doing the Chaos Space Wolves.
Yeah. If you want to do that, then if that's what you do, you want to do your Cornate X Space Wolves, you do that.
Not every idea is good.
No, every idea is good. Just some are better than others. Exactly. See, Kaiser understands.
Because this is where I'm at. This is what I'm thinking. Because if I do, I like the idea because I have a 2,000 points list version of it, and it gets very Daemon heavy at 2,000 points. And I kind of like the idea of starting it out as almost like pure Marines and Rhinos and stuff. Like, have like my Chaos Lord and a Warpsmith, and like a Rhino and stuff, like to start with. And then over time, like evolve that into my Lord Discordant, my Daemon Prince, like as the characters improve over the course of the narrative campaign. And I think that'll be kind of cool.
Well, okay. Now you're thinking of it as a narrative campaign like Path to Glory, and that's not what it is.
No, that's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not what it is. The idea, I can give away the basics at this point because I worked it out. There is a planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big planet. Really big. And it's got something going on it, and nobody knows what it is. But everybody knows that there's something weird on the planet. So everybody's landing and trying to investigate it and find the keys to what the big secret of the planet is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of its skirmishes in different zones on the planet that dominate certain areas of the territory to be able to scour to find clues to what the overall thing on the planet is going on.
Yeah.
So it's not like a bunch of novices showed up. No, the Emperor and the Lords of Terra and whoever, everybody they sent like fleets. Go figure this out. What's going on? So it's not necessarily about, it's a bunch of novices and they have to level up. No, it's about certain types of missions will have a call for certain types of units. That's what I was trying to say. That's why I said it's a quasi-narrative. It's not really a campaign. It's a series of events because, like I said, there's at least one mission that if I do have a Knights player, they're not going to be able to participate in that one, but I'll make something else for them specifically. Like one of them is going to happen where because of the close quarters and the cramped space and where it happens, because it'll be underground, nothing with over a 60 millimeter base will be able to go in there because they won't be able to fit. So only basic dreadnoughts, no Primaris dreadnoughts, none of the Tau's big suits, only up to like commanders, I think, can get in there, and like crisis suits. No vehicles will be able to get in there except for maybe some of the guard vehicles. Maybe bikes will be able to get in there, but it's going to be really tight and compact. There's another mission that's specifically going to happen in an area on a bunch of floating pieces in water.
Well, then maybe I don't want to do the Damon Prince thing, because if that's how that's going, then
that's one of them. That's just one of them. There's a couple different things. Like I said,
that's not what I mean. I mean more so like maybe because I like the idea of him being a Chaos Lord to start with. Maybe I just like make him as a Chaos Lord, and then if I eventually want to get him a Damon Prince model, I get him a Damon Prince model.
That's fine.
Because I know Damon Princes are really good. Like I really do.
They are.
I don't know. I'd rather have like a Chaos Lord and Terminator armor or something.
Okay.
Or just a Chaos Lord. I'd have to look at the different Chaos Lord stats.
Now, I will tell you, Mr. Kirschbaum, you are exactly correct. One of the ideas I took was from some of my inspiration did come from playing tabletop. Some of it did. Some of it's come from playing tabletop. Some of it's come from some of the stuff at the SEO Winters and some of his Battle Zone stuff. And then a couple other campaigns that I've read about. And that's the other thing. I absolutely agree with you on that. In some aspects of that, Kaiser, I disagree that the game is better at 1,000. I believe it's fine at 2,000, but I definitely think it's better it's much better at 1,000 than it is at 500. I think 500 is way too swingy. It is so easy for a fight to swing one way very quickly, very rapidly, and be done in like 2 turns in a 500-point game. Well, you like swingy. Well, then as a very good friend of mine says, it's a Latin phrase, but it basically means to each their own. And again, one of the big points that I want to make about this whole narrative thing, the biggest thing, I will not be playing in any of the fights. I'll be acting as a judge and an impartial storyteller. But I will not actually participate actively in a fight, except in one scenario that I planned out that you actually gave me an idea for.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm going to have 3 armies all fighting against a bad guy army that comes in. And basically, it's a survival type fight. So. So yeah, some of it came from Winners SEO, some of it came from Play on Tabletop. I freely admit that I lifted ideas from all over the place for this thing. I just thought it'd be fun. I saw things that people did well, and I saw things that I thought I could do better. So, and since I've been wanting to go more towards doing some narrative storytelling and some battle reports on the channel, because I just haven't had as much tutorial stuff lately, I just thought it'd be fun. So news of the world, news of 40K.
What news is there?
Well,
none.
Yeah, a little bit.
No news.
They released today some 40K rules, or I don't know if they released them. It's one of the websites that highlights stuff was highlighting out of the Warzone book some rules on the Tyranids, which is why a lot of people are thinking that the Tyranids are going to be the Xenos faction are bringing up at the end of the year.
Man, a lot of people are thinking the Guard are going to be
It's going to be the Guard. A lot of people are really strongly thinking it's going to be Guard and Tyranids.
Lasguns go to Strength 4. God. Oh my God.
You know what I think would be better?
No, I'm saying right now, people will flip shit if Lasguns go to Strength 4.
You know what I think would be better?
What?
I think it'd be fun, personally, if Lasguns stayed at Strength 3.
Mm-hmm. But now he's going to say something controversial.
Then they got like AP or AP2. So they're hard to hurt, but once they punch through, they punch through.
No.
I like it.
That's not the point of Lasguns. Just make them rapid fire 3. More shots on the table.
No, they won't go that nuts.
Come on. They're already rapid fire, what, 1, 2?
Rapid fire 1, and there's a thing you can do, there's an order you can give them to make them rapid fire 2.
So we upgrade them to rapid fire 2, and the stratagem makes them rapid fire 4.
It's not a stratagem, it's literally an order. It's free.
Oh, the order makes them rapid fire 3. They could just make more shots. That'd be, oh boy.
How about they make them assault 2 and the order makes them rapid fire?
No. But rapid fire 4. AP plus 1, rapid fire 4.
Every army that has gone through this 9th edition refresh has come out much better than they were.
So they need more rapid.
I mean, orcs right now, people are finding some really... I haven't looked into them too much because I don't want to change how much I play my orcs. I like my orcs in the narrative way that I play them.
Yeah, but you're going to switch to... Once they become the top of the meta, you're going to switch to them.
Nope.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
And you're like, sorry, Mechanicus, but you're staying unpainted. I'm going to paint my orcs now.
No, I'm really not.
I don't believe you.
I don't care what you believe.
No one believes you. Commodore especially doesn't believe you.
Commodore knows better.
Commodore is the most vocal proponent of your...
Except if anybody actually knows, and they know that's not how I roll.
I mean...
That's not. I mean what?
I'm just saying.
You're just saying what?
Oh, look, the Mechanicus came out with their new codex. Oh, Dad's playing Mechanicus.
Yeah. I loved building them and wanted to play them. And then I found out they were broken, and I'm like, well, that's kind of fun. I had my Death Guard when the Death Guard sucked, and I enjoyed playing them because they sucked. And then they got good, and everybody complained. And they were saying, well, they were always good. You say that. So, I don't know how much I believe people anymore. But, I don't know. I think, honestly, if you want to make the guard fun...
Rapid fire 4.
I think the most fun thing they can do to the guard has nothing to do with affecting their equipment. I think the most fun they can do is they make the guard, they take the guard and they give them all the factions. They give them their Death Corps of Krieg, and they keep all the existing factions, and they give them the Tanith first and only, or first and foremost, or whoever those freaks are. They give them their army. But I mean, even more than that. Let's bring the guys out of retirement. Let's bring the Steel Legion back. Let's bring the Karskins back into play.
If they bring they bring elite troopers back in, like heavily armored dudes, or
give me back my Rough Riders. Krieg models, how you make guard fun. I don't care how bad you lose.
We've always had Krieg models.
They haven't left. They've always been there. They were just at Forge World and freaking expensive.
They're STLs too. Did you see the utter... Okay. I was on Forge World the other day. And I was looking at the System of Silence essentially start collecting box. It's a squad, maybe 2 squads of girls, and a vehicle for like $300.
And the vehicle is 200 of that. 200 of that. What's the vehicle?
It's like this weird, I don't even know what it is. Like, that's the problem. It doesn't look like a vehicle. It looks like a box. It looks like a bronze box that you can open, and it has like a little twirly front.
Because the only vehicle... Oh, it has a twirly front?
Yeah, and it doesn't fly, but it maybe hovers a little bit.
See, the only vehicle I know the sisters have is their the Land Raider. And the Land Raider is an $80 model. And the sisters are $60 a model. It's not really a start collecting box. It's just here, play them for... but then again, you're probably looking at $30K. And $30K has all kinds of wacky models.
Silence. Start.
This is why I don't have a start collecting box.
Starter.
Affordable models. Yeah, no, Krieg are not affordable. I mean,
Print the Kriegers.
I mean, that's why they're in plastic now, and that's why there's been STLs forever for Kriegers. Which is kind of sad to say, but, And, the thing is, I got to give people that are Krieger fans credit, because they've stayed loyal to the Kriegers, while GW has just been like, screw them, and just taken all their support away. I mean, I built Acadian army, but honestly, if they had the models and had the option instead, if they'd had the option instead, I would have built them as Tallarn, because back in the day, I really liked the Tallarn. I love the look of the Tallarn. I love their lore, so I understand the love for Kriegers, in the aspect is I understand you have an army that you really, really like, and just because they're not that much different than the other guys like them, but
This vehicle. Yeah, what is it? We thought it was a drill because there's a bunch of drill vehicles. No, it's not a drill vehicle. Because that front part opens, and it opens to like a flat, just flat.
It's a transport of some sort. You know, that's the other problem is that Forge World for 30K has just some weird, weird models.
And then there's the Cadre box that has that with 2 squads of Sister of Silence for like $300.
Well, I mean, Sister Silence is $60 a box, and that model is 140.
Oh, I understand the pricing.
But remember, they don't have discounts. It's a Cadre box. It's not a Start Collecting box. Start Collecting box means
Armored Assault Force. Prosecutor Cadre Armored Assault Force. $255.
yes, you're not getting a price break at all. You're paying exactly what you're paying for it.
It's just dumb.
You know, I mean,
Forge World's dumb.
Forge World's not dumb. It's just that Forge World is for guys that don't care about the price. They're playing for the narrative.
Or for the, mechanics.
No, not really.
Because there's some, I don't know, like in 8th edition especially, like that Custodes grav tank that you could only get off Forge World was dumb.
You mean if the grav tank I have? Yeah.
And the Dreadnought as well that you can only get off Forge World.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, okay, Custodes are broken to begin with. I love Custodes.
And that's what I run. I run Custodes for the narrative.
Okay.
We're running 1,000 points. I have 5 dudes. One of them's my 2 of them are HQ units. It's a squad of 3 dudes. Yeah. That's it.
I think when I ran Custodes at 1,000 points, no, that was 500 points. I had a squad of bikes, a squad of dudes with sword and shield. No, I didn't even have a squad of bikes. I had a captain on a bike and a squad of 3 dudes on sword and shield. And that might have been it.
What I'm going to do is going to put 1 Dreadnought, the big, scary Dreadnought for 500 points.
The Telemon. He's 380.
Yeah. Put a Telemon Dreadnought.
He's 380 points.
A squad of dudes, 2 HQ units. And maybe a squad of Terminators if I can fit it.
No, you
Probably
can't.
not.
You can't. Yeah, that's narrative.
Yeah. This is my narrative list.
Sorry, I'll be honest with you. Anytime you're putting Custodes down, you have walked away from narrative.
That's not true. In the recent years, Gullman has started sending the Custodes out to actually go do stuff. That's the best part, is the Custodes are now doing stuff.
Yeah. It's because Guilliman's breaking the meta. All right.
You know what I'm going to do?
All right. This Chaos Marine meta has been around for too long, and the Eldar meta has been around too long. We're going in there with Custodes. They break everybody.
I'm going to run an Imperial Guard list, but then for my Orc to Orc, I'm going to have a single Custodes in his spot. You know why? You know there's a Legion of Custodes. Their whole thing is that they go and find heroes, essentially, or people that are fated to save the Imperium or do something for the Emperor, and they protect that person. So it could be guardsmen, space marines, anything. Could be like a factory worker. And they just march around protecting that individual. This is my Orc to Orc. That's a Custodes, yeah. Yeah. The regimental commander, he had a vision of his future. What the fuck?
See, here's the thing. My immediate thought, when you say, I'm going to run guard and I'm going to run Custodes, my immediate thought, and again, this is why I shouldn't be playing in this game. Because I go, okay, well, it's going to be that guy, but I'm also going to bring a squad of Custodes. Specifically, I'm going to bring the Custodes with the flag. There's a dude with the flag. Do you know why?
Why?
Because custodians have 3 flags. One of them makes it hard to hit. One of them makes people not get scared. And one of them confers the custodian's invul save to any Imperial unit in range. It's like a 9-inch bubble of you are custodians protected right now. It is so great.
Jeez.
Well, the thing is, what you do with it in the game, what I saw somebody do with a great effectiveness, they left that guy because he's a lone unit. He's a lone elite. And they left him by their 2 squads of Stitches of Silence. Because they don't have an invul save. So he just stayed by them. You guys keep them psychers from doing anything, and I'll keep you safe under the vexilla of the Imperium. La la la.
That's so dumb. That's cool, but it's dumb.
Yeah, instead you have them walk over by, I don't know, the 2 tank commanders that are standing next to each other.
Stop. Stop. That's dumb.
Which one of them that you put the autocannon on so he takes 40 shots at somebody? Hey, I'm a Marine killer.
Stop it.
That's okay. We don't like Marines anyhow. Screw them guys.
Right.
Super soldiers. Yeah, right. They can bounce off my pecs.
This is a super soldier.
But yeah, anyhow, so what's going on in there? So Kill Team was on sale this weekend, and they promised anybody who pre-ordered it this weekend would guarantee to get their copy. I hadn't looked on Monday to see if they sold out, but I'm guessing they did. As soon as Monday came around, they were able to swip that over. And the reason I guess that is because I was looking at some other numbers. So apparently they had a special promotion that if you ordered it over this weekend, you got a special medal Kill Team themed measuring tool. You know, the 3-2-1 measuring tool that you get, which I think those are cool. One of these says I want to print one, but they had one for metal with the Kill Team logo and all that stuff on it. But it was a limited offer. They only had so many of them. They did sell out of them. They did run out part of the way through the weekend of the special promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, that happens. And then somebody leaked a letter today of the promotions from their sales department to a store owner or something. I don't know where it came from completely, but they had sales numbers talking about that special promotion. And in the United States, they had 27,500 of those metal tools in the States. They sold out before Sunday.
Okay.
So that means on Saturday and into Sunday morning, they sold at least 27,500 copies of the Kill Team starter box. That's insane.
How many do you think were scalpers?
I would say at least half. My opinion, I would say honestly, probably half were scalpers. And the problem is that I don't think it's going to matter because everybody's going to get their copies. So what these scalpers are going to do, they're going to buy these boxes, and they're all they're doing is splitting them up. They're going to be selling the Kriegers alone. They're going to be selling the Orc Commandos alone, and they're going to be selling the terrain. And they're not making their money on the terrain of the book. They're making their money on the Kriegers and the Commandos.
That's fair. All right.
But 27,500 copies. Now, that could have been a worldwide number, but I got the impression that was the North American numbers. Which means by American dollars, just on American sales alone that we can guarantee, they made $5.4 million, which isn't really a lot, but considering it's a specialty miniatures game, that's really good. So, I know some people that were big fans of Kill Team in the last edition that have had a chance to look over the rules now. And one of the things I liked about the original Kill Team, from what they're saying, and I'm not saying they're right, I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm going to make my own decision when I get my copy and I get a chance to actually look at the rules. But a couple of the guys that I know that were looking at it, one of the things they complained about with the new Kill Team is that it's really not it's not a gateway game the way the last version of Kill Team is. It really is its own animal.
Which isn't horrible.
I don't think that's bad at all.
But it is... it does come with problems of that regard, too.
Well, I mean, balance is going to be an issue because I understanding that it's not point-based.
Yeah.
You are getting a copy. Yes, I am getting a copy.
Counter's like, I want the Kriegers. Give me Kriegers, please.
Yeah, I know. I already talked to him about that.
Give me Kriegers, I give you orcs.
No, he's got an orc army too. He wants his commandos.
Oh, yeah. So he's just going to buy the Kriegers off you.
I don't know. That's probably something he'll talk to me about when we're not on the air. Kriegers. But yes, I am getting a copy of it. I already have a copy reserved through our source, as Commodore knows who our source is. He is holding a copy for me.
I'll probably paint up my Emperor's Children as a Kill Team set first.
Oh, absolutely. I would say, yeah, do that and do up a squad. I mean, do a squad at a time. Don't try painting an army at once. Don't be like your dad. Don't be dumb. Do a squad at a time.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. Only get so much out of that anyways. At a time.
That's fair. We will talk after the show. I'm sure we will. And yeah, am I getting a copy? Yes. I want all that fabulous terrain. I want the box set. Now, the other thing they did talk about, I don't know if we talked about this last session, although I thought we did when we did our Thursday recap show, is that every 3 months
they're going to be doing another.
They're going to be doing it looks like they're going to be doing like another version of a starter box every 3 months with 2 new armies, new terrain, new stuff. And they're going to be doing like a zone box every 3 months and a new army box. So it's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to do this. But it looks like they're going to be dumping a lot of production in the Kill Team. So they're actually going to be really cranking down on it. And I think, honestly, this is where kind of my upset over the whole thing comes about with. Cursed City, Warhammer Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was super hyped for that game and really super excited. And honestly, without playing a game of it, all the hype was lost for that game. Like, I have a copy. It's built. I've never even cracked it to play it. And the main reason I haven't cracked it to play it is because they made it kind of clear that unlike Blackstone Fortress, they're not doing any expansions for it because of Brexit and of the whole problem with printing in China, that they're not going to be doing any expansions for it.
Which
it more than sucks. The main reason I got Cursed City, and I keep saying it because that's where I have it. I have my box sitting right there. One of the main reasons I got Cursed City was because I didn't get in on the ground zero of Blackstone Fortress. And by the time I wanted to get into Blackstone Fortress, they were already 3 or 4 expansion packs in, and you couldn't get the older expansions anymore. And it's like you get the base game, and then you would miss like 3 or 4 middle packs. And I wanted to get the Cursed City and all the expansion with it so we could run this big, fabulous game. And they went, yeah, but we're not going to do that with this one. And it's just like, well, if you're going to be like that, why not just fucking reprint Blackstone Fortress, a game that everybody has been clamoring to get their hands on?
That's fair.
And that kind of killed like my desire to actually even base coat or paint those figures. I'm like, ew.
No, I get it.
And I got the impression by talking again to some people I know in the industry that the reason they're going all in on Kill Team is because it's a different route they can go. It's more model specific with a lot less printing than with Cursed City. And so that's why they went with a whole new rules set and a whole bunch of stuff right after they had just released a box set for the old version of Kill Team. The whole idea is that this is taking the place of Warhammer Quest. They're having a whole new game system, and they're going to just go all in on it because people want something different. I like it. I like the fact that they're picking a different game that's a good game, and they're breathing some life into it, and they're getting some effort behind it, and they're putting some production behind it, and they're giving it, some real breathing room. I like that idea. I really do.
But it also makes it kind of doubtful in my mind that they're going to kind of revitalize some others that are more model specific, like Titanicus.
Oh, no, Titanicus.
Titanicus is...
Oh, my God, they're all in on Titanicus. They're releasing a War Master Titan for this thing.
Fucking Christ.
Do you know how big a War Master Titan is? I mean, the Warlord Titan in Titanicus is like this tall. The War Master's like that much bigger.
And then, what do they have the Imperator yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the Imperator would be stupid. I mean, that thing's... The War Master's already getting...
Imperator would be like the size of this.
The War Master is like the size of a 2-liter. It's a massive figure. I mean, for a game that's supposed to be everything in miniature, I mean, when you look at your Knight Titans, like the Titans they have...
Yeah, the Knights are like this.
No. They're like on 40 millimeter size bases. Like the regular...
The Helverins are like...
Are on like 32s.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this thing is going to be like this.
Then what about Battlefleet Gothic? Do they have...
No, they've got that digitally. Now there's one. Oh,
I want 1800s naval warfare in space.
But here's the thing.
1800s naval warfare in space.
And that I was talking to Tech Noir about that. And that's basically what Titanicus is. Titanicus basically uses the same similar rule set.
They want spaceships.
I understand that. But that's what I'm saying. That's what we were talking about this. Basically, Titanicus uses a lot of the same rule set. Like, if you hit a Titan, you force it to turn and move, and it's got to do steering and whatnot to get its guns back on and to get the ship turning. It's literally... It's a lot like the old Battlefleet Gothic was.
But I want Battlefleet Gothic.
I understand that.
I want to do a narrative campaign.
And if you want Battlefleet Gothic, unfortunately, the reality is either you need to find someone that's going to print all the models, which I really don't want to go through all that. Because finding all the models is just a pain in the ass.
But then I could run a Rogue Trader game.
But the flip side is you'd also have to have all the rules and play them enough to understand them. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you're struggling to remember strategy.
I've only played one game.
You've only played one game. That's what I'm saying. You want to play all these other games, but we need to get you into one game. I mean,
yeah, but what I want is a narrative campaign where we can have both Kill Team, Battlefleet Gothic, and an actual 40K, all as part of the same narrative campaign. A grand narrative campaign.
So why don't we also have Aeronautica in there?
Aeronautica could be cool. I don't know enough about Aeronautica.
It's X-Wing except for 40K.
No, that's fair. That'd be kind of cool. I'm serious. A grand narrative campaign would be cool.
Oh.
It'd be like hard. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. But like, it'd be cool.
I'm not saying it wouldn't.
You take a sector map. You have different planets, and then you have battles on the different scales. So that'd be cool.
I don't disagree with you, but the level of planning that would go into that, you'd have to have, and the number of dedicated players you would have to have.
No, that's fair.
Keeping in mind that a single battle is 2 players playing at a time.
Yeah.
This Path of Glory campaign is already losing steam. There's like a third of the players have dropped out of the Path of Glory campaign.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. It's kind of hard for me, at least. So yeah.
No, it's hard for you because the guys that you would be playing with haven't been showing up in the mornings recently on Saturdays. I can't do it this week because we have D&D, but we're gonna work with Kirkbaum and bring his elves.
And we should finish the terrain so we can do stuff at Kami in Phoenix's house too.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to just be stomped into the dirt by your Slanesh army.
I wouldn't stomp you into the dirt. Except I literally have that ability.
You will stomp me into the dirt and not give a fuck.
And then we'll play with some miniatures. And I'll do it again. I love you, little
I
enjoy
killing you in fucking Dark Heresy.
That's okay. I'll sacrifice you to the dark box. I'll sacrifice the entire party to the dark box.
Oh, look, guys, it's a Black Crusade game now.
Look, Kamen's going to put the gun to my head. My eyes are going to pop out and say, you didn't say the magic word.
Sorry, guys, it's a Black Crusade game now. Please generate Black Crusade characters.
No. Just generate Slaneshi demons.
It's not a Slaneshi box.
It is. It's the Lament device.
It is not a Slaneshi box.
All right, folks. We're getting to the end of the 9 o'clock hour. And so we're going to wrap things up here.
We're getting to the end of the 8 o'clock hour, you mean?
9 o'clock hour.
No, end of the 9 o'clock hour?
We're getting to the end.
We be near
we're
10.
getting to the end, comma, the 9 o'clock hour.
That's not what you said.
You are a pain in my...
You said end of the 9 o'clock hour.
This is why I beat my son.
You said end of the 9
because
o'clock hour?
I enjoy...
If you said end of the 8 o'clock hour, it'd be fine.
We're
not at the end of the 9 o'clock hour. We're at the start of the 9 o'clock hour.
All right. Let's trim your fingernails.
You got old man hands. You can't.
I do. I can't even hold you off. My hands are so bad. I just dropped figures. Okay, so I guess we're coming to the end of the night. So, Kill Team. I can't make a judgment yet because I haven't played it, and I won't make a judgment until I play it. I'm not going to listen to other people, what they say about it. I want the figures anyhow. I want the terrain. I want the rule book. I like the old Kill Team, so I think the new Kill Team will be just fine. I think it's going to be more playable than the other version was, to be perfectly honest. Looking at the number of figures that are involved. I mean, I looked at that Guard army and that Commando army, and they're both like 10, 12 figures apiece. So I think it's going to be intimately more playable. I just dropped all this if I got to pick it all up. I think it'll be more playable because there'll be more stuff to do. I think people shouldn't be so quick to rush judgment on games they haven't played. LOL. You're adorable. All right, everyone. Treat your friends well. Treat your loved ones worse. Show them how much you love them. Show them how much you love them. I love them so much. No, be good to everybody. Be good to yourselves. Be good to people around you. If you haven't got your vaccinations yet, go get them. If you are able to get the booster, go get it. I don't want any of my friends to go away. That being said, I love y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Please like and subscribe.